Okay, dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I hope you guys have watched the part 4 video before watching this video, because it is very important, because it covers some of the heroes that you will immediately see the relevance to Mythical Rudy. Okay, so if you haven't checked that video out, go check it out, then come back to this video. So this is Mythic Rudy. We will jump right into his skill set. Take note that he does have transformation forms as well, and the way his transformation works is that he will gain a fanaticism effect, which allows his transformation to this demonic form, and you will need 15 stacks, okay, in order for his transformation to take place. Thereafter, once he is in his demonic form, there is a gauge that will appear, and this gauge will decrease over time. Once this gauge goes back to 0, he will transform back to Mythic Rudy. Okay, for simplicity, I will refer to the fanaticism effect and stack as fanatic. Okay, so how do you get this fanatic stack? Basically, you need to use all skills 2 times, or you use an ultimate skill once. Okay, this is the most default method. Later on, there will be other ways where Mythic Rudy will be able to gain the fanatic stat. On top of this transformation ability, he will also decrease crowd control duration for all allies. So when heroes are afflicted with certain statuses such as pull, shackle, shock, taunt, all these are crowd control effects, and Mythic Rudy is able to reduce the duration of these particular effects. He does not reduce the duration for stat drops, etc. Okay, as mentioned, stat drops will be cleansed by Nox. For his first skill before transformation, he will charge at the target, deals damage equal to 492% of his attack, and it's an AoE skill. He will have 80% chance to taunt enemies, and he will also grant himself damage immunity for 5 seconds. For his skill 2 is a combo skill. First, he will deal AoE damage in a straight line. He will have 100% chance to pull and also reduce movement speed of the targets. His combo skill will be the same thing, straight line AoE damage, 60% chance to blind, and this skill will always hit its mark. Skill 3, he will remove debuffs and grants an unremovable damage reduction to allies in the middle row specifically for 8 seconds. He will also apply link to all allies for 10 seconds. This is similar to the regular Rudy skill. Okay, and the damage reduction is just something new and added on. For his ultimate skill, he will become unstoppable, and he will deal damage to all enemies in a very large area for 9 seconds consecutively. He also has 100% chance to blind them once, in this case, 1 stack of blindness. Okay, on top of that, he will grant allies a shield equal to a certain percentage of its attack for 3 seconds, and it will also apply reflect 4 times. So upon acquiring 15 fanatic stacks, he will transform into his demonic form, and in this demonic form his passive will change as well. This is something different from Mythic Eileen and Mythic Ace, where they have the same passive, but in this case he has a new passive. So in PvP fields, when all targets except the caster are revived, reduce skill cooldown by 8 seconds, and he recovers HP by a very big amount of attack. Okay, this has a 7-second cooldown effect. The thing about this is I'm slightly unclear when they mean by when all targets except the caster are revived. So I'm not too sure which targets they are referring to specifically, because the Korean wording for this particular word is daesong, which refers to targets or subjects. Okay, it does not refer to allies, it does not refer to enemies. So at first I was thinking this could be referring to enemies, but then they did add except the caster, so that didn't make sense. So I'm not sure if it will refer to all other, heroes on the field being revived, and then he will get this effect. Not too sure. Not only that, he will increase allies' damage over time duration by up to 60.2% and more, depending on skill level. His default buff over time will be that he will reduce his recovery received from allies by 80%. I guess this is a kind of like a balance for him, so that he does not keep healing too much, and he is only reliant on his own healing from that first part of the passive. After transformation, skill changes. Okay, so first one is he charges at the target, deals damage equal to certain percentage of attack, AoE, 60% chance to knock down. He also creates an area 5 meters that decreases all status effect resistances by a huge amount for 5 seconds to all targets. The area explodes after a while, instilling fear 100% chance and instant death 60% chance. His skill 2 is extremely long, so bear with the font. Okay, but I'll explain through. Also deals AoE damage, okay, 100% chance to pull, 60% chance to apply instant death. The combo skill is almost the same, okay, it's basically the same AoE but has 100% chance to apply instant death on those targets without the effect already, okay. So if he misses the first time round, there's a chance that he will apply it. There's a 100% chance he will apply it the second time when this skill swaps over to the combo skill. On top of that, he will create the same area 5 meters that decreases all status effect resistance by a very high percentage to all targets. The area explodes after a while, instilling fear and applying instant death. So yeah, everything leads to the death basically. Skill 3 after the change. Deals damage equal to a certain percentage of attack, AoE, prioritizes support enemies. He also removes buffs from the targets and prevents them from being invincible for 10 seconds. This is unremovable. This is also a new effect and only applicable in PvP fields. He will also revive one ally with 100% max HP. The revived ally cannot receive recovery or shield effects and will continuously lose HP. I think this is something similar to his gauge, okay, whereby it will just decrease over time and die. So kind of like a zombie in that case. His ultimate skill gives himself unremovable HP recovery over time every 2.5 seconds for 20 seconds in an invincible state. Reduces skill cooldown by 4 seconds as well. 30% chance to apply instant death every 2.5 seconds to all targets within 6 meters around him. Okay, so basically, if you couple that with his skill 2, where he already inflicts fear and death from those area effects, this is an additional application. Not only that, just keep in mind what we talked about yesterday, whereby we have knocks as well, applying fear. And on fear targets, knocks will apply extinction. On instant death targets, knocks can apply death as well. On top of that, you also have Chris Plus, who is revamped, who will prioritize heroes that already are inflicted with death. Chris Plus will apply death on them again, due to the skill priority. So, in this case, this team is just very synergized, and I will show you guys the comp later. But more importantly, we need to look at the unique stats, okay? So for the unique stats at tier 1, level 40, Rudy is able to gain more fanatic stats. He will gain more fanatic stats when he's attacked 8 times, he will gain 1 stack, and when he is disabled. So every time he gets immobility, such as stun or paralyzed or shock, okay, he will get 1 stack as well, and this can happen every 10 seconds. Tier 2 at level 45, he increases his defense and status effect accuracy for each fanatic stack up to 15 stacks. That will be 45% defense increase and up to 45% status effect accuracy increase. Of course, this will be taking place, when he's in his normal form, because he doesn't gain fanatic stacks in the demon form. So he will get status effect accuracy increases in the normal form, which will probably help with the blind, okay, but definitely not the death part. Tier 3, he removes debuffs when disabled, grants himself an unremovable unstoppability and damage immunity for 6 seconds, decreases skill cooldown by 10 seconds. This is basically something like a mirage and also like an imperishable effect. Okay, tier 4, level 55. He increases his amount of recovery received in PvP fields by 24%. He decreases his skill cooldown by 16%. So this will actually make him very much more efficient together with his death friends, and also because remember from his initial passive in demonic form, he will reduce his recovery received down like by 80%. So this actually helps a bit more to allow him to heal more if you have a support unit that heals, such as Fine, okay, or any other healing hero that is available, such as Iota as well. And in tier 5, begins the battle in human form and gains fanatic stacks every 5 seconds. I think this is the biggest game changer for this particular unit. Okay, so I really foresee that once he drops, you know, in Korea server, there are many people with level 60 Rudys already. And yeah, that is how game changing his level 60 effect is, because he really needs the fanatic stacks. Not only that, he will increase his instant death chance of his ultimate skill in demonic form by 30%. So if you recall, where this instant death comes from is actually from the effect that if you go too near him, he will cast instant death of you, and that is only a 30% chance. Okay, that is a 30% chance. So increasing now, having level 60 effect will make it a 60% chance to cast instant death. And you have to bear in mind there are other effects going on with from Nox, from Naviros, from Chris. You know, they are also influencing the status effect resistance of the enemies as well. So there's a very high chance that he will just, you know, move around the field and kill everything. That's just how it works. So level 60 Rudy is a true game changer when he drops. So just to share with you guys some of the comps that are currently being used in Korean meta, the first two you see that are highlighted are the two comps that are used currently in the top 50 Korean meta. Dev teams are very common over there right now, so that will be one of the comps that we will also definitely see in our side, okay, because I think it's a very well put together team, but it's also extremely niche. So in future, when there's one particular hero that counters death in any way, I think this team will just you know, drop. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Just that currently with all the support for death and fear, this team is extremely powerful in that sense. And remember what I mentioned about Nebulos in the other video as well, is that he is a range attacker, while the other three are melee attackers. So Nebulos keeps them alive with his passive. Okay, if you don't know what he does, just go watch that video. The next team will be the Fine and Rudy, Nebulos and Eileen comp. This is also very sustainable because Nebulos is just gonna buff Rudy very well, and then you have Eileen here and Fine here for the support and the overall tankiness of the team. Fine will just increase damage capabilities of Eileen and Rudy, who are both very strong and capable of dealing damage. And then you have Fine also healing at the same time, keeping everyone alive. So it is also a very well synergized comp. The rest are kind of like a side comp, okay? If you don't have certain heroes and if you want to play, you know, with Rudy and Eileen or such, you can also adopt these comps. I do foresee Clemith also having quite a good time coming back to the meta, to be honest, because there are a lot of area effects if you watched the video yesterday based on all the new units. So Clemith, I think, still has a spot. Okay, Rudy Plus overall also has a spot because he does provide very good status effect mitigation, resistance and all that, and debuff duration reduction for teams. So he will be able to probably alleviate some of the problems that you will face in future moving forward, because there are so many CC teams in that sense, CC units. Okay, yeah, so these are some of the units that Mythic Rudy can be used, and with this in mind, you should have a better idea of who you wish to build or who you wish to pull. Okay, I think mostly are covered in the part 4 video, so yeah, just use these two videos as your main reference points moving forward, because they will be able to guide you. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and do give it a like, and big shout out to my channel members Chilling, Jude, Gonzalo, McGee, Yamaki, Kevin, Harlan, Kos and JDM for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!